Yeah, I mean, we kind of sidetracked off of. I think you were talking about EPA and DHA. I mean, I don't know where you were going with that, but if you wanna,
I think he's trying to say that plants can't convert enough to DHA, right? I posted a lot of papers on that to show that there's not much of a difference.
oh, you already shared those.
Yeah, I can post them again here. There.
So yeah, I see you linked the algal oil capsules in salmon. So like, but I don't see a push from vegans to say like, make sure you eat algal oil. Like, I mean, my point is like, it's so like, it's already in our culture to eat these things if you're a meat eater, but it like there isn't an automatic like reaction as soon as you go vegan to eat these things to replace it. So like it seems a little misleading, I guess, to say, make sure you're eating a wide variety of plants and vegetables and you'll be getting everything you used to be. But I mean, that's not true. Like you have to add these things that you totally have to go out of your way for, and like no one even mentions it.
Beast, do you want to address that?
I mean, that just seems like
there's a study here that actually compared the levels, and they're not that much different. That's very strong. The second thing is it's not necessarily clear that those things are even totally necessary. Omega-3 and omega-6 are essential, but the other ones it's not totally clear that they're actually totally essential. The idea is that they're going to prevent some kind of Alzheimer's or whatever it may be. But you'd actually just have to look at the evidence on vegans to see if they have a higher rate of Alzheimer's disease, and they don't in a lot of cases. So it doesn't really, it's not a very good process to start with. But I did show you that the conversion may be sufficient. Like but here it is right there, and then like algae oil is fish fats are like equivalent anyways. So if you are worried about this thing, then that's not a reason to not be vegan. But I mean, as for whether or not vegans tell you to take it, I mean, there is actually a lot of things I've seen where they do have recommendations to take DHA. But again, it's speculative anyway, whether or not you actually need it in the first place. What would you say?
are you like speaking differently into your mic than before, Beast? Because your voice isn't coming out very good.
Hello?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I didn't really catch what you were saying.
Oh, you didn't hear?
No.
Okay. I just said that what you would want to do is you'd want to, if the idea that you need DHA and EPA is a bit speculative anyway as for whether or not it's not necessarily even essential. And the thing is that the reason that we want to have DHA or EPA is because there's some benefit to like brain health, for Alzheimer's disease and stuff like that. But you'd want to look at whether or not vegans actually have a higher rate of Alzheimer's disease and like outcome data. So you can look at the Adventist studies and stuff like that, and they really don't have a higher rate. So, and obviously your body does convert ALA to DHA and EPA anyway. And so there's not really a specific amount that, like an RDA, specific RDA that we need to have. It's mostly speculative anyway. But if you are worried about that, then there's no reason to not be vegan because of that, since you can simply take an algae-based DHA and it's the same thing. A lot of people don't consume fish regularly enough to meet that either. And there's another paper here, ALA conversion may not be sufficient in omnivores because oral intake of EPA, DHA decreases conversion. There's a paper there. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that it's not an argument against being vegan.
Okay, so you were saying that, okay, so multiple things, but first, so you were saying that ALA can be converted to DHA and EPA. When we're talking about, it says healthy young men, apparently you can only convert about 8% of ALA to EPA. And when it comes to DHA, it's even worse. Some people can only convert 0%. And the most they found was 4%. So, I mean, it's no huge, like, jump to me to say, like, you're obviously getting less DHA and EPA. Second,
Where's that?
Sorry?
Where's that from? This one here you linked?
Yeah.
0%? Did you have anything to say, Saab, or any of you guys?
Oh no. I'm just looking at it's a very short duration, and I know I've seen studies that it takes far longer to impact DHA levels from ALA.
Right, and like obviously I can't like say I have a professional theory or anything, but I also see studies saying that I mean this is an article, but it references to the claims. So what happens when people go vegan is that the DHA and EPA get lower, but then they stabilize to a low amount. Now the thing is, your cells themselves are made of DHA and EPA. So,
What?
Yeah, like the brain cells. And they're made of cholesterol, things like that. Those are the things you need to build them.
They're not made of
No.
cholesterol. They're made of phospholipids. What are you talking about? You just
I'll comment on the brain DHA thing for a second.
Yeah.
Most of that, like,
Oh, you cut off. Hello?
and sorry.
You're cutting off a bit.
Oh, sorry. I hope it's working. But anyways, our brain weight is largely fat, and a lot of that is DHA. But most of that occurs earlier in life. It's not something we need to continually have massive amounts from. That's why DHA is added to prenatals and throughout pregnancy, because through pregnancy and through lactation, you're feeding DHA to the infant as the brain is really developing. Of course, there is debate around the need for supplementation beyond that, which Beast has spoken about. But this argument about because our brains are full of DHA, we need to constantly be consuming lots of it, that doesn't really pan out.
So then why does this article say that you need lots of omega-3 for a preventative effect against Alzheimer's, Parkinson's?
Okay, again, all right.
Omega-3.
These started off by saying we would very clearly see a difference in the rates. However, they're equivalent or better in people with higher plant-based diets or low and even lower EPA and DHA. So it just doesn't line up.
You always have to look at outcome data, because what you can do is you can speculate on any mechanism and you can say, okay, well, there's a low conversion of this or that or whatever, so therefore we're gonna see this disease, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna see that disease. You have to actually look at the outcome data and see if you are seeing that disease develop. You can't just speculate on the mechanism.
Link me the any paper that shows that there's no increase in neurodegenerative disorders with the lack of DHA or whatever. Like, I mean, yeah, they could have taken a supplement too. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things like that.
Like,
Constant.
I can provide that if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be great.
So what did you say?
Great. A paper that shows that there's no link between veganism and, let's say, Alzheimer's. Or
Yeah, there's
Parkinson's.
going to be a decreased risk. There's actually a randomized trial undergoing right now for prevention of Alzheimer's, I'm pretty sure, for plant-based vegan diet.
Actually, the current one isn't prevention; they're going with treatment. But anyways, I'll provide there's research on the Adventists that shows a lower risk of Alzheimer's. Just give me a second to find it.
Even what you just linked literally says there's lacking evidence in any interventional trials showing a link between neurodegenerative disorders and intake of EPA and DHA. again, I'll question if you actually read the whole thing or not.
I did read the whole thing, but from the conclusion, hold on.
Yeah, it literally says there's not even enough evidence to make recommendations.
Oh yeah, like
Conclusion.
this is preliminary research, of course. Like,
Well, there is no interventional research.
I just provided the Adventist study there. So they looked at Seventh-day Adventists, and they found that those who avoid meat, including poultry and fish, actually had reduced risk. So those who ate more animal products had over double the risk of Alzheimer's compared to the vegetarians, which also includes the vegans.
And also go with, like, there's also depression research as well. We're talking about cognitive issues and things like that.
these aren't vegans though; these are vegetarians.
The vegans are included in that group.
Yeah, the vegans are included in the vegetarian cohort, and even then they aren't eating fish, so they aren't eating sources that are rich in EPA or DHA.
Yeah, you'll be impressed to find anything that has anything, never mind a little amount of the two in a vegetarian diet. That excludes fish. Yeah, I bold from the paper that you shared.
Less animal-based food, better weight status.
That's a different one. I think Beast was sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that one happens to say that.
Up.
Talking about depression as well. I'm just showing ones for depression. I'm not talking about Alzheimer's.
Yeah, above my comment is MNAG shared incident of dementia intake of products from Adventist.
And within that, it was specifically meat consumption that increased.
Thanks. Okay. No. Wait, how are you getting the full article for the dementia one?
I use Sci-Hub, sci-hub.tw. You can access pretty much anything there.
sci-hub.tw.
Here, I'm gonna direct link him just so he doesn't have to go through the trouble. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks. I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Sweet. My phone's at 10% battery.
Are you talking on your phone?
Yeah. My neck is too sore if I do the computer.
Oh my god.
It's terrible.
I'll admit the sign up for the dementia one is a bit to go through.
What?
The dementia study saying that apparently the incidence of dementia is higher in meat eaters. I wanted to go through that to see if that applied to vegans as well as vegetarians, because eggs are a great source of omega-3.